اللهم صل على المصطفى نبي الرسالة وبحر الصفا.
And the Prophet ﷺ says about his Sahaba that my Sahaba are like the stars. The Sahaba are like the stars. Before we had satellite navigation systems, human beings from the beginning of their inception up until very recently used to understand the map that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created in the heavens and the system of the stars. It's a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's a proof of His creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala projected this map onto the heavens. The stars. Even till today, scholars from Mauritania, they can look at the sky and they can tell you direction. They can tell you details about the world just by looking at the stars. So the Sahaba al-Kiram are like the stars. When we look at stars, stars are lofty and high. And the other thing about stars is with the naked eye, you cannot discern their true reality. You don't know their true state. When we see a star, we're seeing it millions of light years later. We're not even seeing its reality. So when the Prophet ﷺ strikes an example, his examples have depth within them of meaning. So what here the Prophet ﷺ is saying is that not only in times of absolute darkness can people navigate the waves of this world through looking at the stars and following the Sahaba al-Kiram, but do not think that by looking at them that you recognize and know their reality. They are far lofty, far above. And what this indicates too is that nobody should speak ill about them, because you cannot speak ill about one whose reality you don't even know. How can you speak about somebody and criticize and judge when you don't even know their reality? And how can one criticize and speak ill when the one who knows their reality praise them? Who knows their reality? Allah and the Prophet ﷺ. Did they criticize? No. So the one those who know the Sahaba al-Kiram in their true reality praise them, don't criticize them. So it doesn't befit those whose eyesights are weak, whose comprehension and knowledge is deficient, whose ability to realize the reality of the Sahaba to speak ill about them. And this is the instruction of the Prophet ﷺ, that when it comes to my Sahaba and you hear people speaking ill of them, hold your tongue. Hold your tongue, don't speak ill about them. And the Prophet ﷺ tells us about the Sahaba al-Kiram that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looked upon the souls in the realm of souls when He created them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the best of souls to be the prophets. They were chosen, handpicked. And from them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that were left over from them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose those who were going to be the companions of those prophets. And so the Sahaba of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this beautiful story of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we read and that we relate and that we live by, its author and the characters in the script are chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a story written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the story of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And He has chosen the characters and the parts that they play within that story. So each one has been selected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are principles to mention before we go into mentioning and talking about the lives of the Sahaba al-Kiram, that we need to bear at the forefront of our minds. So whenever you take a narration, you hear a narration of the Sahaba al-Kiram, and it creates some kind of confusion within you, some issue within you, the principles you must follow. That number one, I don't know their reality, I don't speak ill. The ones who did know their reality, praise them. And number three, that the Prophet ﷺ told us that when you hear people speaking ill of my Sahaba, then hold your tongue. So we do not ever speak ill or say anything against the Sahaba al-Kiram. And in reality, the scholars say that finding fault amongst the Sahaba al-Kiram is in reality finding fault in the Prophet ﷺ because they are students of his ﷺ. It's one of the greatest miracles of the Prophet ﷺ that he forged a group and a nation from the deserts of Arabia. People who used to bury their daughters alive, people who used to walk around the Kaaba and perform tawaf, worshipping idols naked in a state of intoxication. This is how low they were. This is the state that they were in. And he took those people and he conquered the four corners of this earth through them, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.